Was it feel cruel tonight?
Yeah, we were close, but yeah, at the end we could not reach it.
It's about moments. It's about being solid, very solid. Real Madrid, for example, in this sense, they were 2-0 down. I saw their faces. I was like, these guys are not worried. And I was saying to the lads, guys, you see in their faces, like they're not kind of, they did. Okay, we will overcome this situation.
What you are about to see should not be possible. Real Madrid just broke the one rule that every football club is forced to follow. This is the secret psychological tactics they activate when all hope is lost. You will not believe what happens when the 90th minute hits. 90 minutes had already bled away, and the Bernabeu was sinking into that strange silence that lives between hope and surrender. Manchester City had the crown in their hands. Pep Guardiola, immaculate in his black coat, stood calm at the touchline, a man who had spent his life building order out of chaos. Before him, order seemed complete. The scoreboard glowed blue. The noise was gone. Real Madrid's season was seconds from extinction. And then a flicker, a spark, so faint it might have been imagined. The ball dropped to Karim Benzema near the touchline. His balance half gone, yet his instinct alive. He twisted, stretching the moment like a thread about to snap, and release a cross that looked more desperate than designed. Somewhere in the 6-yard box, unnoticed, a thin-framed Brazilian ghost slipped between giants. Rodrigo goes. One touch, one deflection, one sound, the crack of destiny tearing through disbelief. The net rippled. The Bernabeu erupted as though the earth itself had found its heartbeat again. In that instant, football's logic ceased to exist. The stadium that had been a tomb turned into a storm. Faces pale with resignation now glowed with madness. Nobody could hear the referee's whistle. Nobody cared that City were still leading on aggregate. For one impossible breath, time itself bent backward, because that is what Real Madrid do. They bend time until it kneels. Yet the madness had only begun. The clock barely ticked once more before Dani Carvajal flung another cross into the chaos. Rodrigo rose again, higher than belief itself. His header flew past Ederson, straight, surgical, eternal. 2 goals in 2 minutes. 2 miracles before comprehension could catch up. Guardiola froze, expressionless, the genius undone by something he couldn't diagram. Carlo Ancelotti simply blinked, as though he too were trying to understand what divine law had just been rewritten. When the whistle blew for extra time, the world realized it had witnessed a resurrection. City were walking ghosts now, drained to certainty. Madrid were reborn, bodies trembling, spirits soaring, carried by a power that never lives in tactics. They say football is a game of geometry. That night, it was religion. But this story had begun long before that night. In another city, under another sky, where Guardiola's machine had first bared its teeth. At the Etihad, weeks earlier, Manchester City had turned the match into an exhibition of rhythm and cruelty. Kevin De Bruyne's header came in the 2nd minute, a surgeon's incision. Gabriel Jesus followed soon after, his finish calm and cold. For 10 minutes, the old kings looked mortal. Their passes faltered, their defense cracked, their aura dimmed. Yet even amid humiliation, Madrid found fragments of resistance. In the 33rd minute, Ferland Mendy crossed on the left and Benzema, half-turned, half-marked, utterly certain, flicked the ball past Ederson. A reminder that royalty never dies quietly. The second half opened with more City fireworks. Phil Foden's header restored the 2-goal lead, a textbook Guardiola pattern, with timing incision. But football gods dislike predictability. Minutes later, Vinicius Jr. turned Fernandinho inside out near the halfway line and sprinted alone into legend. 50 yards of grass, a blur of white, one perfect finish. The Etihad gasped. Madrid were bleeding, yes, but they were smiling through it. City struck again through Bernardo Silva's thunderbolt, the kind of goal that would end most ties. Yet when a late penalty fell to Benzema, 6 days after he had missed 2 for Madrid in La Liga, he chose audacity over fear. The Panenka drifted up like a prayer and dropped into eternity. It was 4-3 on the night, a defeat that felt like an omen. Madrid were behind, but the wound was clean. They could still breathe through it. Back in Spain, the return leg began under the hum of inevitability. For 70 minutes, nothing divine appeared. City's shape held firm, disciplined as a metronome. When Riyad Mahrez struck in the 73rd minute, smashing the ball high past Courtois, it felt like the final seal. Even Ancelotti looked resigned, adjusting his cufflinks with that eerie calm of man surrendering to fate. But fate does not live in spreadsheets. It lives in substitutions. In the 68th minute, Ancelotti had unleashed Rodrigo. He was supposed to be a tactical tweak, an experiment in width. Instead, he became prophecy. When the Brazilian scored once, belief surged. When he scored again, belief turned physical. You could feel it on your skin. Extra time began not as football, but as ritual. The players moved as though possessed by memory. Madrid surged forward again, and when Ruben Dias lunged and missed, the penalty was inevitable. Benzema stepped up, calm as a saint. No tricks this time, just power, precision, redemption. The net shook. City collapsed. The scoreboard read 3-1, the aggregate 6-5. The Bernabeu howled until morning. Rodrigo was lifted on shoulders. A 21-year-old turned myth. Guardiola walked down the tunnel, shoulders heavy with disbelief. Ancelotti simply smiled, eyebrows raised, as if to say, "You see? This is why we don't play by your equations." Yet the story did not end that night. Madrid carried the fire to Paris, to a final that looked unwinnable again. Liverpool awaited, ruthless, relentless, a team car from Klopp's fury and rhythm. The pundits call Madrid lucky, tired, overmatched. But Madrid are not measured in statistics. They are measured in inevitability. In Paris, Thibaut Courtois stood between Liverpool and destiny. For 90 minutes, he was less a goalkeeper than a wall of prophecy. Mohamed Salah shot. Sadio Mane thundered forward, and each time Courtois denied them with fingertips that seemed guided by something beyond muscle. Every save was a sermon. Then came the moment. Federico Valverde broke down the right, low and sharp. His cross sliced to the red wall until Vinicius Jr. appeared at the far post. Calm, fearless, inevitable. One touch. The ball crossed the line as if pre-written. 1-0. Madrid didn't celebrate wildly. They absorbed. Each pass after that was a heartbeat. Courtois kept saving. Liverpool kept believing. And Ancelotti watched his creation complete the impossible trilogy. Paris 2022, the night faith became fact. When the final whistle came, Benzema dropped to his knees, eyes toward the sky. Around him, players wept not from exhaustion, but from understanding. 14 European crowns. Centuries of dominance condensed into 90 minutes of defiance. Guardiola's philosophy had met its paradox. City's empire, built on logic, had been undone by a team that lived on emotion. Real Madrid had broken football's mathematics. They reminded the world that momentum can be spiritual, that belief can be tactical, that miracles are measurable only in the way a crowd screams your name. As confetti fell in Paris, the camera found Ancelotti one last time, sunglasses on, grin soft beneath calm. Rodrigo and Vinicius embraced. Two Brazilians born continents away from the Bernabeu, now immortal within its myth. And deep beneath that marble stadium, you could almost hear the ghosts of Di Stefano and Cristiano Ronaldo whispering approval. The lineage was intact. The kingdom had defended its crown. Because on those nights, when the clock dies and reason dissolves, Real Madrid do not play football. They perform resurrection. The parade through Madrid began like a continuation of the match itself. No separation between night and morning. Tens of thousands filled the streets, white shirts glowing as if the moonlight of Bernabeu had followed them home. They didn't chant for one player. They chanted for the idea. In the dressing room hours earlier, some players sat motionless. Others laughed as if laughter could hold them to earth. Benzema moved among them, whispering quiet faith. Rodrigo returned alone to the goal that had made him legend, fingers brushing the net, giving thanks more than victory. Back in Manchester, Guardiola searched the footage for reason and found none. How do you coach belief? How do you defend against inevitability? Ancelotti already knew you don't. You surrender to it, and somehow it carries you higher. Later, he told his team, "We don't need to play better than Liverpool. We only need to play as Real Madrid." They did. Courtois became monumental. saving everything. Valverde and Vinicius wrote prophecy. And when Ancelotti raised a single finger to the sky after victory, it wasn't boast. It was acknowledgement of the unseen. For the fans, that season became scripture. To Madrid, a game entered football's language, meaning to rise from death and win anyway. Children who hadn't been born for Di Stefano or Ronaldo will grow up replaying Rodrigo's 2 minutes and swear they were miracles caught on camera. Because Real Madrid remained the contradiction that keeps the game alive. Arrogance and humility, chaos and control, science and scripture. They exist to remind the world that somewhere, just beyond reason, the impossible still waits for its cue. And when that cue comes, when the scoreboard says finish, when the cameras start to fade, the white shirts rise again, the anthem swells, and a whisper echoes through football's soul. Not yet. Real Madrid never end stories. They begin them where logic stops. Tell us which Real Madrid comeback stands as the greatest in Champions League history. Explain how this team consistently defies logic in Europe. Let us know which player embodies this never say die mentality the most. Share your thoughts in the comments and follow for more content that breaks down football's most legendary moments.